where, Andrew, at 9:33 a.m. Eastern time, there was already a lot of chatter going on. Everybody's talking combine, talking about, the ACC Florida State Clemson settlement. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But Andrew had a combine question for everyone, but especially for Danny. Andrew says, how much does quarterbacks' hand sizes really matter?
Did you guys see? I think there was a stat. Somebody have to check me on this one, that every starting quarterback in the NFL had over 9-inch hands. Like, I don't think there was one outlier. It doesn't bother me that much, but it's more of a confirmation bias thing. Like, if you see a quarterback you like, you just kind of want to see it. But I think it's more glaring, obviously, if you have had ball control issues, if you fumbled, like, that's to me when it's like, he fumbled a lot and he has little hands. Like, maybe that's the problem. That could be it. And I did want to answer the question too about the Milrose hand size.
Yeah, said it. Oh yeah, here you go. Please talk about how Jalen Milrose's hands grew a ½ inch in 4 weeks.
So this is interesting because, and I think it's actually more than a ½ inch. I think it's slightly more than a ½ inch, which is pretty wild. So this is something I learned about. I wish I had learned this earlier, but I think I was 9 3/8. So I think I was pretty solid. Didn't have any issues to worry about. But Kenny Pickett brought this to my attention when he was coming out, that quarterbacks specifically, because it has become such a thing, will actually go see like massage therapists that will massage their hands like every day. Kenny Pickett said he slept in a splint to try to gain length. And so basically the way they measure it is from here, from your thumb to your pinky, like to the 2 points. And so it's like a split. If you can do a split, if you can split it wider where it's more parallel, like it's almost a line, it gains length. So the more flexible you are, that's why they go see these masseuses, is they like try to stretch out your joints the longer that length becomes. So you can actually increase your hand size by gaining more flexibility in your fingers, like being able to spread them out even wider.
It's like those pills you see on Instagram. Increase your hand size by taking these pills. I know it's like football in general. The quarterback gets all the attention. Jalen Milrose's hands growing got all the attention. It was not the only thing at the combine this week. The offensive linemen that were at the Senior Bowl, pretty much any player that was at the Senior Bowl, their arms were measured about let's see here, where's the number? About a ½ inch shorter with arm length and wingspan at the combine than they were at the Senior Bowl and the Shrine Bowl. So who's doing the measurements? Which ones were a little more
very real too?
That matters a lot.
Suddenly guys who had like 35-inch wingspans at the Senior Bowl suddenly had 34.5-inch wingspans at the combine.
Also, there's a real incentive to try to get guys to say yes to play in the Senior Bowl and to say yes to play in the Shrine Bowl. So you literally have an incentive to not short guys at all and probably to inflate the numbers slightly. Right. As long as everybody's getting kind of the same inflation, that's cool. But if guys know that it's a bad track, they won't run. If guys know that you have a real stickler on measurements, they're probably going to decline to measure in. So there is a business aspect of inflating numbers for sure.
But the draft was where we got the bigger numbers, right?
Right. That's where it's a little bit.
For Milroe, it was bigger. Yes.
Yeah. Milrose's
Wait, I thought you meant on the wingspan for the lineman.
The wingspan, it was shorter for linemen.
Right. Okay.
So they did not get the shoulder massages that they needed to get to make sure that they were fully stretched out. That's Indianapolis. It can get your muscles get
colder,
a little bit tighter. It's
like
colder.
Mobile was warmer, so you kind of shrink a little bit at Indianapolis. Shrinkage. It's something we all deal with.
It's something that we all.
And
deal
I'm sure most of our listeners know as well because they've been listening to us talk about it and they've been following the combine for years. No, the combine 40 times are notoriously slower than pro days where because they've got the computer. You can't cheat on the start and get a little bit of a get off that's going to be faster. And there's human error, which is usually a little bit faster. So they, if you're a blazer, if you're a guy that wants to go out there and fly, you typically might want to skip the combine so you can really, really impress your pro day when there's a little bit more leeway in there.
But didn't they faster track like a couple of years ago?
They might have, yeah. But it's always been more about the computer too, like the computer.
Laser finish is different. Yeah,
the laser start.
Yeah, like we dealt with it while we were there for the Big Ten media days. Like they put some different stuff in the turf than had been in there in the past. It was no longer those black rubber pellets. It's like more of that brownish stuff that stained the
it's
hell
cork.
out of my shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some thought that has slowed things down a little bit.
Like even in just the general workouts that they're doing, like when you're out there running routes.
Just in general, maybe because, and this is, I'm not a scientist, but maybe rubber's a little bouncier than the cork. So it slows you down. It absorbs more of your weight. I don't know.
You are a man of science.
That's what I want to hear Isaiah Bond come out and say, damn it, I would have had a 4-1, but it was the stupid cork that's new that I didn't know about.
Oh, sorry. People are saying that the Big Ten one is not cork, but coconut husks.
There we go.
Whoa, even better.
Whatever it is, it ruined my shoes.
Yeah, it did like stain them.
Well, we were happy to be there. We'll be looking forward to continuing to bring you coverage from Big Ten Media Days, wherever it may be.
Wherever it may be. I'm fully committed to continuing to cover Big Ten Media Days this year.
Yeah, 100%.